Pure West Radio. Super excited once again to be joined by Trevor this morning. Good morning from the Fillers.
Good morning, how are you?
We are well. It's a little bit rainy here today, though, and I'm hoping that you're going to be bringing some sunshine with you when you travel to Pembrokeshire a little later this month.
We can really only hope, but yeah, come rain or shine, it'll be fine. It'll be good. It's a good night.
It will be great. So, of course, you are part of the Fillers. The correct me if I'm wrong. The first and best tribute band to the Killers, as endorsed by Mr. Brandon Flowers himself.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been going since 2006, which it ages me a little bit, but yeah, we've been doing this for a while now. Yes.
When you started it way back in 2006, did you think you would still be being booked for headline acts as a Killers tribute band here? Was that 18 years later? Has that surpassed anything you ever thought of?
When we started in 2006, it was more of I don't want to say a joke, but it was kind of a joke. It was something we'd done just for fun for ourselves, and this also dates it. We'd set up a MySpace page, but it was actually we were only doing it there was a local charity gig that we'd basically set up to do, so we did it for that, and then essentially people found it on MySpace and started messaging us to say, "Oh, can you come play here?" We had no idea. We didn't, when we looked at it, we were just fans of the band, and we weren't really looking at it as some viable thing to be doing for, again, the next 18 years. That was never the plan, but somehow it's all got a little bit out of hand. But yeah,
in a good way.
In a great way. It's been fantastic.
I suppose what's been great from your point of view is that the Killers have continued to produce albums and these great records that have come out. They've reinvented their style on a few occasions. The album that nearly was coming out just a couple of months ago, that they're giving you all the content you need.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a constant source of enjoyment and sometimes the odd frustrations as well. They've sometimes I'm sure they just do things to challenge us. We've just seen their latest stage show, and that's amazing. I don't know if you guys got to see any of the Rebel Diamonds tour, but it was huge, and the whole production of it looked ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, and you're always kind of looking at it from a fan side, going, "Oh, this is amazing," and then from a tribute band side, going, "How are we going to do that?"
What can we possibly do? And of course, they've given you a gift, though, in the world record holding Mr. Brightside, 8 years in the top 100 in the UK charts. That's quite a feat for a song that only just got made into the top 10.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I saw that they actually picked up an award for that recently when they were backstage at the O2, and it was just absolutely fantastic that when they played it recently after Ollie Watkins scored his goal at the Euros. I think he might have declared it as basically the national anthem, and I think that's what it's seen as. So yeah, it was great.
I say it's the national anthem every Saturday night that I play a gig. Everybody wants to hear it.
It really is. Sometimes they'll come out and play it first, and I'm like, we're not doing that, guys. No. Although after COVID, the first gig back we played it first and last. We're like, look, we've not played this for a while, so you're getting it twice.
Give the people what they want. Because
exactly.
they do have so many other wonderful, iconic tracks that do often get overlooked because of the phenomenal success of Mr. Brightside. What are some of your favourites as a band to play that are arguably lesser known, or might be from that first Hot Fuss album that people might forget about?
Well, we've played, because Hot Fuss is now 20 years old. It was 20 years old this year. So we've been working in every song from Hot Fuss into our set lists recently. Not every set list, but we'll just bring in a couple of the old random ones. And I really enjoy playing like Andy, You're a Star, or On Top. Maybe not exactly the biggest hits, but if anyone's got that album, they know these songs, and indie rock and roll and things like that. We'll bring them back in. We'll play them a couple of times, and celebrate the fact that that album's 20 years old. So there's only one song that we've not played off it yet, and we'll get to it before the end of the year, I'm sure, and that's Everything Will Be All Right. But we haven't quite figured out what we're going to do for it yet, but they've got a residency in Vegas in August where they've got the 4 original members, and they're going out and playing that album front to back.
Oh wow!
So we'll see what they do there, and then we'll figure out the equivalent.
You'll figure it out. And of course, we're going to get to enjoy you as headline acts at the Solver Edge Festival on the 26th of July. What is it that we can expect from a Fillers performance?
It's as close to the real thing as we can possibly get. We've just spent a long time upgrading the keyboard symbol to make sure it looks like the latest tour. So things like that. If they'll let us, we'll be firing lasers. If they let us, we'll be firing confetti. So it's going to be, and then a headline set of Killers music. It'll be great.
Gina, that sounds great. And of course, with that vantage point over the little village of Solver, looking out over St. Bride's Bay, there really is no festival like it, Gene.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. And I know that, Trevor, you and the band haven't been to Pembrokeshire before or played a gig. So you've got a treat coming down to Pembrokeshire. And I know that Pembrokeshire have got a treat when they come to listen to your show as well. It is going to be brilliant.
We're looking forward to it.
And then very quickly, I think I mentioned it earlier, endorsed by the band themselves, and you've even swapped drummers on not 1 but 2 times. Is that right?
So yeah, we were playing a gig, and Ronnie Benucci Jr. turned up and took over the drums and played with us, which is daunting, by the way, because for a start, you could see him in the crowd because it might not be apparent or obvious to everyone, but like he's probably 6'5", 6'4", 6'5". The guy's a giant, and as soon as he's there looking, you're like, oh, this is awkward. Just like, please get it right. And then he came up, joined us, and played, which was fantastic. And then our drummer did the opposite when we went to it was I think at the Macron Stadium in Bolton, and he jumped up on stage and played For Reasons Unknown with them. So yeah, it was good.
So cool. So you never know what's going to happen on the Solver Edge Festival on Friday night on the 26th of July. But Trevor, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. If you haven't already, get your tickets. And look back on our previous guest. We had Nicola Davis, former presenter of The Really Wild Show, joining us. She's going to be giving a talk about Wales, showing off her books and her illustrations. And that was a very insightful conversation. And that's just some of the acts that are going to be gracing the playing fields up at Solver. Get your tickets now. The Fillers are going to be there, as well as a myriad of other acts. Trevor, thank you so much for joining us here on the G&T Breakfast Show with Folly Farm.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
You'll never guess what song we're going to play.
I can.
Are we that predictable?
It's Everything's Going to Be All Right, which is the last song on Hot Fuzz that we've never played yet.
Stay tuned. It's just gone 9:15 here on Pure West Radio.
Wake up with Gina and Tom.